Clemens Wenzeslaus Brentano was a German poet and novelist, and a major figure of German Romanticism. He was the uncle of Franz Brentano. Overview. Clemens Brentano was born to Peter Anton Brentano and Maximiliane Laroche, a wealthy merchant family in Frankfurt on 9 September 1778. His father's family was of Italian descent. His sister was Bettina von Arnim, Goethe's correspondent. He studied in Halle and Jena, afterwards residing at Heidelberg, Vienna and Berlin. He was close to Wieland, Herder, Goethe, Friedrich Schlegel, Fichte and Tieck. From 1798 to 1800, Brentano lived in Jena, the first center of the Romantic movement. In 1801, he moved to Göttingen, and became a friend of Joachim von Arnim. He married writer Sophie Moreau on 29 October 1803. In 1804, he moved to Heidelberg and worked with Arnim on Zeitungen für Einsiedler and Des Knaben Wunderhorn. After his wife Sophie died in 1806, he married a second time in 1807 to August Bussmann. In the years between 1808 and 1818, Brentano lived mostly in Berlin, and from 1819 to 1824 in Dülmen, Westphalia. In 1818, weary of his somewhat restless and unsettled life, he returned to the practice of the Catholic faith and withdrew to the monastery of Dülmen, where he lived for some years in strict seclusion. He took on the position of secretary to the Catholic visionary nun, the Blessed Anne Catherine Emmerich. It was claimed that from 1802 until her death, she bore the wounds of the crown of thorns, and from 1812, the full stigmata, including a cross over her heart and the wound from the lance. Clemens Brentano made her acquaintance, was converted to the strong faith, and remained at the foot of the stigmatist, copying her dictation without embellishment from 1818 to 1824. When she died, he prepared an index of the visions and revelations from her journal, The Dolorous Passion of Our Lord Jesus Christ. One of these visions, made known by Brentano, later resulted in the actual identification of the real House of the Virgin Mary in Ephesus by Abbé Julien Gouillet, a French priest, during 1881. However, some posthumous investigations in 1923 and 1928 made it uncertain how much of the books he attributed to Emmerich were actually his own creation, and the works were discarded for her beatification process. The latter part of his life he spent in Regensburg, Frankfurt and Munich, actively engaged in promoting the Catholic faith. Brentano assisted Ludwig Joachim von Arnim, his brother-in-law, in the collection of folk songs forming Des Knaben Wunderhorn, which Gustav Mahler drew upon for his song cycle. He died in Aschaffenburg. Brentano, whose early writings were published under the pseudonym Maria, belonged to the Heidelberg group of German Romantic writers, and his works are marked by excessive fantastic imagery and by abrupt, bizarre modes of expression. His first published writings were Satire und Poetische Spiele, a Romanz Godwi oder das Steinerne Bild der Mutter, and a musical drama Die Lustigen Musikantin. Of his dramas, the best are Ponce de Leon, Victoria und Ihre Geschwister und Die Gründung Prags. On the whole, his finest work is the collection of Romanzen vom Rosenkranz, his short stories, and more especially the charming Geschichte vom braven Kasperl und dem Schönen Annel, which has been translated into English, were very popular. Brentano's collected works, edited by his brother Christian, appeared at Frankfurt in 9 vols. Selections have been edited by J. B. Deal, M. Koch, and J. Domke. C.J.B. Deal and William Crichton. Clemens Brentano, The Introduction to Koch's Edition, and Aussteigehaven Arnemund K. Brentano. In his honor, the Clemens Brentano Prize is awarded for German literature. Poems: Eingang, Frühlingsschreieinsnächtig, Abendstandchen, Lorelei, Auf dem Rhein, Wiegenlied, and Sophie Moreau. Ich wollte ein Sträußelein binden. Der Spinnenlied, aus einem kranken Herzen, hast du nicht mein Glück gesehen, frühes Lied, Schwanenlied, Nachtklonsch Beethovensche Musik, Romanzen vom Rosenkranz, Einsam will ich und again, Rückblick, Religious Works, Die barmherzigen Schwestern in Bezug auf Armen und Krankenpflege, Lehrjahre Jesu Part 1 and 2, 1983 edition by W. Kohlhammer, Berlin, ISBN 3-17-008658-8. Das Bitterleiden unseres Herrn Jesu Christi, ISBN 3-17-012652-0, ISBN 3-17-004917-8. Das Leben der Heil, Jungfrau Maria, ISBN 3-557-91059, ISBN 978-3-557-91053, ISBN 3-7171-09618, ISBN 978-3-7171-09617. Biography der Anna Katharina Emmerich, Tagebuchauszeichnungen, Geheimnis des Alten und des Neuen Bunds, aus den Tagebüchern des Clemens Brentano, ISBN 3-7171-09626, ISBN 978-3-7171-09624. Fairy Tales, Die Märchen vom Rhein.